Hello, and welcome back to Designing Ashes with your host, Navar. That's me, by the way. Today, we'll be talking about the guild system. For our viewing pleasure and possible epilepsy, we have some Carfin third floor grinding to enjoy. Ever since Thaknar asked for feedback about the guild progression system, this topic has gained extra buzz around the community. The feedback Intrepid has received has been harsh, condemning, and to be honest, fair. This was a topic I have been wanting to talk about for some time, and there is nothing like a developer asking for feedback to get the ball rolling. Everyone I talk to hates the current guild progression system. I hope the system is just a placeholder and was never intended to be the final version. Vacnar asking for feedback gives me hope the system will be fully overhauled and we can see something much more interesting in the future. Let's go over the current system quickly and its issues. The current leveling system was poorly thought out from an experience perspective alone. We are currently in a testing environment, and the experience needed to gain even one level for your guild is astronomically high. There is also only one way to gain experience for the guild, and that is to run guild commodities in a caravan. This is a real problem due to the small amount of experience each run gives a guild. Thus, almost all guilds have never even given this system a real attempt at using. Next is the guild tree and the bonuses you receive. This system has been touted as one of those ways smaller guilds will be able to compete with larger guilds. Yet the very first bonus you have to select is increasing your guild size, if you like it or not. From a skill perspective, this tree is very boring. Your guild will get things like 100 gathering experience rating, 5% more damage, 20 more members, or 5% adventuring experience. These are very underwhelming and feel as if someone came up with them over a lunch break. A quick tangent about creativity. Everything has been done or thought of by somebody before. Thus, to make something more original, you can't just use the first thing that comes to mind. You have to toss your first, second, and sometimes even your third idea out the window and push for something else. I think Intrepid is full of smart, creative people, and the current bonuses given as options are not up to their creative skill. Another thing to look at is the actual tree. I'm not overly fond of skill trees. They feel too linear and restrictive. I much prefer skill webs. They are more visually interesting and can provide more freedom of choices. Here are some examples I pulled off the internet. Now that we have covered the issues and burned their entire system to the ground, let's get to the fun part where we get to put forward our own design. Here is my boring example of a guild skill web. We have 4 different areas for guilds to put points into: combat in red, economy in purple, crafting in green, and adventure in yellow. Combat would cover fighting bonuses and abilities. Economy would cover things like taxes, posting fees, commodity costs, and rewards. Crafting would cover any artisan skill, everything from gathering to making legendary Brinebeard boots. Adventuring would cover things like caravan speeds, quests, story arcs, and treasure maps. To address the first and biggest issue, anything any of your guild members do in the world will generate a small amount of guild XP, allowing the guild to level naturally. This can be augmented by running guild commodities to help your guild level faster. This has been done in other games and it works. Why change it? The rings on the skill web indicate different guild tiers. A guild would start in the middle with basic skills in tier 1 and make choices moving outward to the more and more powerful skills, all the way out to tier 6. What tier your guild has access to has nothing to do with guild level, but everything to do with your guild size. More on that in a moment. As your guild levels, you get 1 guild point per level to spend on the skill web. Tier 1 abilities would cost 1 point and increase from there. As your guild levels, you would also get a passive at every 10 levels starting at level 10. These passives would be things like guild heraldry and other visuals or benefits that do not affect the game in any meaningful way. This is more of a visual sign of how active and cool your guild is. You can also spend points to make your guild larger. This benefit is not in the web, but its own simple stick of a tree. Each rank in the guild size gives your guild an added 50 members and costs more and more points rapidly as you make your guild larger. In this system, the largest guild would be 300 members. Other than spending points to become larger and thus not having those points to spend on abilities, you would also lose access to entire guild tiers. Simply by increasing your guild size to 100, you would lose access to the outermost ring or tier 6 abilities that would be truly powerful. Each time you increase your guild size, you would lose access to another tier, down to only having access to tiers 1 and 2. Another penalty would be the needed experience to level your guild would exponentially increase with each addition to size. I can hear people already saying, but Navarre, we will simply keep our guild at 50 members and rush to level 50 guild, then increase our guild size and thus making it easier to level and have tier 6 abilities. Sadly for the exploiters, this would not work. As soon as you buy the first rank of guild size, you would lose access to any abilities in tier 6, and your guild would de-level by the amount of new experience you would now need to get to level 50. This would happen each time you increase your guild size. You could alter points spent, but it would be a long and tough process, but not as hard as leveling a whole new guild. One of the best things about skill webs is they do not have to follow some set tree and can cross over into other areas of the web, as the white lines now show a progression path from one skill to another, making it a maze of choices, options, and opportunities to move left or right in the web and out to tier 6. A few ideas on different types of skill options will be appearing in the right corner, all from the crafting section of the web. I have others, and some of these could use some work, but Intrepid is not paying me for this, so let them think of the actual abilities. It does not take a lot to work out good ideas if you push past the low-hanging fruit. Let's all hope Intrepid makes a solid, real change with the guild progression system and is able to create something that helps small guilds, creates real choice, and interacts with other game systems in a meaningful way. Thank you so much for your time, and let me know if you enjoyed the episode. Please like and subscribe if you find these videos entertaining and want to see more. My next episode will be covering the reasons to PvP and the systems involved. It's a big topic, so it might take a bit longer to produce. Anyway, till next time, I will see you all in Vera.